Real estate can be used as a tool to put you ahead in life. It does require sacrifice, but if done correctly, this will put you light years ahead of all of your peers. I'm not an accountant or I'm not a CPA. I have to put that disclaimer out there. But real estate is an extremely powerful tool. There's no coincidence why at one point in America, for centuries, that real estate was the number one wealth building tool. Now, today, I don't know if it's still a number one wealth building tool, but it's still mine, okay? My number one tool to reach financial independence and get financial freedom. So, with that being said, real estate has some favorable tax codes. One of those tax codes being that if you lived in your primary residence the last 2 years out of the last 5, you are eligible for up to $250,000 tax-free, $500,000 if you are married. So if you're single and you lived in your primary residence 2 years out of the last 5, you're eligible for $250,000. Okay? If you're married, you're eligible up to $500,000. So what does that mean? Let's put it in perspective. So let's say that you bought a house in 2020 for $250,000 and you are single, okay? Well, let's say that now 5 years later you sold the house for $350,000 and let's say you got that whole $100,000. Well, as a single person, you're eligible for up to $250K, but you sold and got 100. So that whole 100 is tax-free. It would have been tax-free up to $250. Okay? Now, let's say you were married. Same situation. You bought the house in 2020 for $250. You're selling it 5 years later. It's worth $350. Well, you're eligible for up to $500,000 tax-free. After $500K, yes, you have to pay capital gains. Okay? So you get that whole $100K tax-free. That's yours. Okay? Now, as an adult, I don't know how many times you get tax-free money, so that's why you want to use this. Now, my lender, he used to tell me for years, man, he said, yo, this is what you should be doing. Move in the house, all right? Fix it up slowly, okay? You could do it while you live in there. Wait 2 years, sell it. Wait 2 years, sell it. His son did that so much that his son is now a lender like he is, okay? But basically, what you would do, he would buy a property, the ugly house in the neighborhood, fix it up, live in it for 2 years, sell it, upgrade, do it again, do it again, do it again, and kept rolling over his money. All right? And this is something that works. I sold a property to somebody who uses the same exact strategy. She told me that's all she does. She said, hey, I work full time, but my family, we move into beat up ugly houses. You could go to your local bank and get what's called a construction loan. And you're buying this house, you're fixing it up to live in. And then as you live in it, you are doing more and more to it, upgrading the value of the property. And then after 2 years, you get the money, you move on with your life. All right? You want to let the tax code benefit you and not you just paying in the system. All right? Now, what better way for you to get big major hits? Because I know a lot of y'all don't like base hits. Everything has to be a home run. Because even if you walk away with $20,000 tax-free, that's still great. It's $20,000 more than what you had. Now, let me get into a personal story. I bought a house in 2014 for $70,000. I lived in the house for 6 years. I sold the property for about $150,000. I walked away with at closing after paying all my fees and closing costs. I walked away tax-free with like $60K. All right, $60,000 tax-free. Okay, that I walked away with. Now, after 6 years, I lived in an apartment 6 years prior. After I left my apartment after 6 years to move in my house, you know what they gave me? We wish you well in your future endeavors. That's it. Now, would you rather well wishes or a $60,000 check? So this is how you could avoid paying capital gains, right, on your primary residence. Some people, they run into this by mistake. Some people are strategic with it. But this is a great way to avoid paying capital gains. Now, if you Google the term live-in flips, you will see more about this situation and people using this strategy. Normally it's referred to as live-in flips. So guys, I'm putting you up on game. You know, live in these properties, sell them, get the money tax-free, move on with your life. All right? Don't be married to a property. It's all business and all boils down to the numbers. In the meantime, check out this other video I did on self-directed retirement accounts. A great way to not only build wealth, but save you money in your retirement account. Hey, listen, I'm Nasser, AKA the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a guru because I actually do this business. Peace.